Hello my dears and welcome back to the Kitty Coven. We are here today because we have our first Nikki newsletter. So they are starting a new thing called Spilling the Tea, which is essentially just a newsletter talking about upcoming things, responses to community feedback, and so much more. So I am going to break down our first one. It looks like it's got about 8 sections. I'm going to go bit by bit and break down what they have told us. All right, so we've got to look at our very first section here, which is talking about the fact that many people have given feedback that the past couple versions have felt really empty, like there hasn't been enough content. And they have heard us loud and clear. So they have let us know that the last couple updates have partially been a little bit quiet due to 1.5 being a major update and kind of bringing a lot of their resources and kind of taking them all. But 1.5 has so much coming from what they have told us, including the dying system, co-op, and a whole new location. So let's break down everything talked about this, both what's coming in 1.5 and the future, just a little bit more. And the very first thing that they kind of talk about is the home feature, which is coming this summer. It is not coming in 1.5, but it is coming this summer. They've let us know that it's taken a little bit longer than hoped, potentially. At least that's what it seems like to me, but that it is coming and it's going to have a little more information later on that we're going to talk about. Talking about some of the stuff coming in 1.5 is the dyeing feature. So we're finally going to be able to start to dye our own clothes, but not only that, we can share our dye schemes with other stylists. So we can go in and customize it as much as the system allows, and then we can actually share that with others. Whether this is going to be through a code system or only with friends, we don't know yet, but I'm really excited about that because there are so many fantastically creative people in this community, and I am excited to see what everybody comes up with. We are also getting in 1.5 a whole new area called Serenity Island, which is home to the PCs. And they mentioned something about a quirky bathing culture. I'm not quite sure how I feel about that, but I am excited to see what this means, as well as letting us know that we're going to get more history around the abandoned district, which is really, really cool to me. The abandoned district has some very interesting lore, so I'm excited to explore more of it and see what all there actually is. We are also going to be gaining access to a ton of new craftable outfits. This is something that they've kind of let us know. They've heard us on as well. We want more things to craft. We want more things to interact with. We want more things to kind of grind for, especially when things are quiet. So they have let us know we're going to be getting a ton more craftable outfits through storylines, gameplay, and special events. I'm really excited to see what that actually means. Are we going to start to get like as quest rewards outfit sketches more often? Is there going to be like limited time outfit sketches that you can only get the outfit sketch during an event? I don't know what that means yet, but I'm excited to see what that ends up being. And just kind of overall, they've kind of apologized a little bit for the last few patches being a little more quiet, but it has been to allow for 1.5 to be absolutely full of content, including the fact that it seems this new area is going to allow in-world co-op. Now, this is partially speculation based off of how a few things are phrased here, but we may be able to visit each other's worlds, which is very, very exciting, and I cannot wait to see what that actually means. Looking at the second section in this Spilling the Tea, this is all about ability outfits and the feedback that many of us would love to use them without actually having to change into the ability outfit. And it does sound like they are working something out for that. We don't know exactly what this is going to look like in the end, but they do mention that after completing a certain number of ability outfits and certain story quests, we will have the ability to use the actual abilities for these outfits without changing into them. So we may actually be able to use them in whatever outfit we are wearing, which is really fantastic because there are some ability outfits that maybe there aren't as many options for, or you're just not a particular fan of and don't have one you really prefer. Being able to stay in your own outfit will be great, and I'm very excited for that. I feel like it'll make it feel a little more seamless sometimes transitioning from stuff. And we're not going to be like swapping outfits left and right, especially like our jumping outfits. That one will be like on, off, on, off, on, off when you're doing certain things. So I'm kind of excited for that. Our third section is potentially one of the most exciting, and I know many of us have wanted information on. It is all about the reruns. We have confirmed reruns, and this does likely mean, now of course this bit is speculation, but reruns will be a potentially regular occurrence. They are letting us know that in version 1.6, so not the next one, but the one after, we will be getting a Flutterstorm rerun from the first patch. And in 1.7, we will be getting a Blooming Dreams rerun. So if you came in after 1.0, or maybe you weren't able to complete it, or you really wanted both, we are finally going to have the ability to get them again. And even better, it does sound like our resonances will continue where we left off. Now, this is a little bit of speculation here as well, but it does sound like to me that essentially what'll happen is it'll be as if the banner never went away. We will just continue on a banner right where we left off. So if you wish for the Flutterstorm and you got maybe 8 out of, I think it was a 10-piece set. It might have been 9. I can't remember off the top of my head. But you got maybe most of the pieces. You were missing 1 or 2. You were like 150 wishes in. It will leave off and it'll pick up right where you left that off. Now, they have said that at least in terms of getting like the dance moves or the decorations, that is true. But I'm not certain on how that's going to affect the actual clothing pieces. So we will have to see exactly how this plays out. But that is my assumption here. That is kind of my guess as to what's coming. And these specifically are going to run either alongside the 4-side banners or potentially in place of. It does sound like it's going to be alongside the 4-star banners. So if you're kind of confused on what that's going to mean, essentially our patch setup is it'll release with the 5-star banners available, whether that's 1 or 2 5-star banners. And then about halfway through the patch, we get our 4-star banners. We'll get like a mini update and the 4-star banners will go live. There's usually 2 a patch. And so it seems like when those 4-star banners go live halfway through the patch, our rerun will also become available for us to wish on. And I'm very excited about this. This is really, really like exciting to see. It gives a lot of hope of outfits returning. If you weren't able to complete something, the ability to complete it. If you wanted recolors of something and you couldn't get those recolors the first time around, you will have another chance. And I'm very excited to see how that comes out. And section 4, in a similar vein to the reruns, Infold has heard us on the fact that all of our 5-star banners have felt a little repetitive and a little bit too similar. I did particularly notice that every single 5-star banner we've had so far has been a dress, and many are very similar silhouettes and styles, and so there hasn't been a lot of diversity in these, but they did want to let us know they are working on a larger variety and more diverse styles in our 5-star banner outfits. Specifically, they have mentioned things like elegant and cozy robes, Prince-inspired outfits, which is really exciting to me, ink-washed Linlong designs, and a futuristic fashion-forward style as well. So I am excited to see, particularly, I really want to see some non-dress outfits. Now, mind you, I am a dress lover myself. I wear a lot of dresses and skirts every day, but I do want to have a little bit more variety in the outfits that I can give Nikki and see some different aesthetics and styles and different silhouettes. So I am really, really excited, and I'm happy that they have heard us and they are making these adjustments. Moving forward to section 5, this is all about the home feature. I told you guys we were going to talk about this a little bit more later, but it is coming this summer. And it does seem like it's going to include everything from actually building our dream home and decorating it to planting crops and some more kind of unknown features as well. Now, the question itself also poses things like feeding animals, which is really interesting. I do want to see, maybe that's a hint towards it, or maybe that's just something a lot of people have kind of added into their feedback regarding wanting the home feature. So we'll have to see if that is actually available. They've also told us in this that we're going to get some basic housing templates and that they will be able to be used and make adjustments to as well. But it also sounds like we may have the ability to entirely redesign them. Now, this leads me to believe that we may have to use a template at least to start, but I wonder if that ability to completely redesign means that we may be able to take it from scratch. We can maybe select each room's placement and size and where the windows are instead of having to go first off a template. It'll be really interesting to see how this works out. I've played a large variety of cozy games, and I don't think I've ever really had one where you have a ton of like super in-depth building options other than things like The Sims or Polya. So it'll be interesting to see kind of what path they go here. And I'm really excited to be able to decorate and have my own little place. The idea of crops is really exciting. I wonder if that's going to give us a new collectible. Maybe that'll be used for some dye options in the future, possibly. We'll just have to see. But the home feature is coming this summer. My biggest wish for this is if they are bringing in multiplayer co-op and the ability to visit each other's worlds, that we will be able to have people visit our home as well. Can you imagine doing like little home tours for all of your friends? Oh, I'm so excited about it. Section 6 moves into another hot topic within the Infinity Nikki community. And a lot of this comes from players reminiscing on collabs from previous Nikki games. And that, of course, is collaborations. And we do have some good news regarding this. Infold is letting us know that they are working on partnerships for things like charities and cultural heritage-based events, as well as, of course, what I know many of us would like to see, collabs with well-known IPs. Sanrio. Hopefully, Chromie outfit, please. We'll have to see, but I'm very excited to see what these end up being. At this time, they said there's no more information they can really give us as to when they'll happen. But of course, if all goes well, hopefully we'll see them in-game sooner rather than later. So collaborations are coming. I'm really excited to see what these end up being, who they choose to collaborate with. And the fact that they're talking about charity and cultural heritage-based ones as well makes me very excited to see what those are going to end up being. Are we possibly maybe going to have, during certain months, we'll have a charity collaboration in game, and maybe there'll be an outfit that you can purchase, and all the purchases for that outfit, a portion of the proceeds will go towards the charity or things like that. It'll be really interesting to see, but I do hope that we get them sooner rather than later. I'm so excited. Taking a look at Section 7, this is a newer hot topic, but this is all about handhelds. This has been a more recent thing I've seen with the current 4-star banners in 1.4, and a lot of discourse regarding the fact that the handheld items for the outfits are only part of the ability and not actual items, this including the staff and the book for their respective 4-star outfits, and they have once again heard us. They're letting us know that they are working on some updates with this in mind, and we'll hopefully hear soon. Now, what I want to know most of all, are they going to go back retroactively to previous outfits, mostly these 1.4 ones, and give us those items? Or is this going to be something that's really only going to be available on new ones coming out? We'll have to see. Either way, at least they're kind of listening to us and taking our feedback into mind, at least, which brings me a lot of joy just to see that. I am a little sad that the staff and the book are not current handhelds, but I do hope that they at least make it retroactive for these ones, or bring out something with a similar item in the future, because those would be so cute to be able to just run around with and take photos in different outfits. And finally, we have Section 8 that's all about the future of Infinity Nikki. Now, other than what we've been told previously in this kind of newsletter, they don't give us a lot of like super specific information, but we can kind of maybe glean a few ideas as to what's to come. They mention wanting to keep the spirit of unbridled possibilities, and that they never want to hold Infinity Nikki or Mirrorland to a singular definition. They also mention that we can expect a journey including things like chasing flowers on the breeze, building our own home, uncovering untold stories, and embarking on limitless adventures. Again, this doesn't give us a ton of specifics, but it does feel like they are letting us know we'll get a large variety of different gameplay, we'll touch on different themes with the story, and there's going to be a big focus on creativity, to me at least. It also feels very much like they want to not hard set into a very specific path. They want to let it grow with the community and listen to our feedback, which does make me very, very happy to see. So far, our very big story bits I have loved. It's been really interesting to see just like the 3 different areas we have so far, being Flora Wish, the Abandoned District / Stoneville, and the Wishing Woods. And they all have a very different story, but they kind of intertwine and they all deal with each other a little bit. So I do want to see as we continue. There are several other major areas within the game based off of course, previous Nikki games. We know that Mirrorland has tons of different themes and areas that all focus on different sections of the world and life and stories. So I want to see how we grow in those. And I'm very excited to see that they seem sincere about trying to keep the creativity going. All right, my dears. So we have gotten to finally take a look at everything that is coming and we've been told about. And my final thoughts, I am really excited, actually. The dying and the housing updates both have a lot of interest for me. I'm really excited to see both how I can express my creativity as well as how other people express theirs using these. I love, especially when cozy games give us these options for that creativity. It's also really nice to have an idea of what's to come. Being able to see that Infold has been doing their best to listen to us and working on it on the background has been really nice to see. I know a lot of people have felt maybe like they weren't listening as much, but this kind of confirms that they are, and they are making active, solid steps towards trying to respond to our community feedback and adjust to the game based on it. But I want to know what you guys are the most excited for from this newsletter, things that have been announced, and what you guys hope to see added or changed in the future, because there's so much about a game like this, and it's really nice to see them so interactive with the community in terms of trying to respond to what we're letting them know we would like to see. Now, of course, being a gacha game, being a live service game in general, a lot of times it's going to take several updates before we actually see something come out. More often than not, from my understanding in the industry, they have been working several updates in the future in order to make sure that they don't, delay updates and things like that if they can help it. So I want to know what you guys want to see, what you hope to see added, and what you're most excited for. But I really appreciate you guys spending some time with me. Make sure you also take a moment to hit subscribe if you enjoyed the video, as well as the bell to get notifications about future videos. You can also follow me on all of my other social medias. I am live on Twitch 4 days a week. I generally play Infinity Nikki at least one of those every single week. So make sure you guys are following me over there. And I will see you guys next time, okay? Take care of yourselves.